First, transnational repression against the Taiwanese diaspora and supporters of Taiwan is the tip of the spear of broader PRC political influence efforts in the United States and other free societies. Such activities are driven by, in large part, by the United Front Work Department, a CCP organ that seeks to co-opt allies and silence enemies domestically and abroad. And so in the context of Taiwan, that means suppressing supporters of Taiwanese democracy and independence and pushing the CCP sovereignty claims and narratives over Taiwan status. So transnational repression and political influence activities consist of multi-pronged community and political mobilization to not only engage in direct surveillance and harassment of Taiwan supporters on U.S. soil, but also to rally portions of the overseas Chinese and Chinese American communities to engage in public and highly visible displays of support for Beijing's position on Taiwan. Right, so it's we have official United Front organizations like the Council of Promotion of the Peaceful Reunification of China, which has multiple branches in the United States and globally, with the explicit goal of asserting Beijing's sovereignty claims over Taiwan. But these influence activities also involve the co-optation and mobilization of a broader array of overseas Chinese hometown associations and other grassroots organizations. And so these groups are often rallied, often in tandem with the Chinese consulate for public demonstrations and protests. For example, around former Taiwanese President Tsai Ing-wen's transit through New York and Los Angeles in late March and early April 2023, right? And so through open source research, examining online videos and photos of these events, right, I was able to identify close to 30 groups involved in on-the-ground demonstrations. And there was one protest leader that claimed that over 100 of these community associations were represented in these demonstrations, right? And so they're gathered outside Taiwan's hotel or outside in LA, outside the Reagan Presidential Library, where President Tsai met then Speaker McCarthy. And these protests also illuminate another trend that we're seeing, which is that the Chinese government also seeks to co-opt Western voices and form tactical alignments with domestic interest groups, such as far-left anti-imperialist movements, protesting alongside Chinese groups, overseas Chinese associations and United Front linked groups as well, right? And so in their messaging, they're framing U.S. support for Taiwan as part of U.S. imperialism and warmongering, and reframing China's position as one of preserving peace in the status quo. And so by extension, right, this implicitly recognizes Beijing's sovereignty claims over Taiwan, right? And so the Chinese government, may not be directly controlling these groups, but they see this as a way to further legitimize its narratives and reframe the Taiwan issue.